next we'll take the RL circuit. The first I'll start with an RL circuit here. Resistor and inductor kept. There's an inductor, there's a resistor, and there's applied voltage. I'll write VM. Vm sine omega t. This is the AC source. Its value will be Vrms. How they are in series? What do you mean by series here? If the current across the elements, both in terms of magnitude and the phase angle, if it is same, then it is said to be in series here. So can you recollect the phasor diagram? Yesterday we have shown. So that phasor diagram is what we are going to take help of. And drawing phasor diagram is what the entire the AC this particular chapter is. Okay, let's assume now a current I will flow here. This current I will come here. So here it is having a phase angle 0. Will agree? 0 phase. Let's assume that one. Or some phase angle. Some phase angle it is. Then the same current will pass through this inductor also. Same current will pass through this inductor also. I don't know the phase of that current, some phase, let it be. Okay, let's come for this. Across resistor, will there be any phase difference? Nothing. So VR will be in the direction of current I only. Both will have same phase. Come for inductor, across inductor. Current lags the voltage, by how much? 90 degree. So therefore the VL will be like this. Able to make it out. So what is the phase of current? Is it phase of current 0? No. It is having some phase which I am going to determine here. I am assuming 0 phase for the voltage, applied voltage. You see that one. I didn't write any phase. Try to see here. Sine omega t plus. There's no phase here. So what is the phase of applied voltage Vrms? It is 0 phase. Like that you can think it. Or no sir, I'll assume current having some phase. Then the applied voltage will have some phase which we don't know, that we have to find out here. Is it okay? So now the phasor diagram, if you can recollect, I'll just make it. Either way, some books define either way. So this is something 0 phase, pi by 2, pi minus pi by 2. Anything which is directed horizontal should have 0 phase. Will I agree this? And anything which is having a phase difference of 90 degrees, it should be directed vertically. So now, so according to the convention, so let's assume that the phase of current, let it be 0. I'll write it nearby. What is the magnitude I and what is the phase angle of it will be 0 degrees. Will I agree? Then the applied voltage, I don't know its phase, that has to be determined. Books, I think they didn't, in the end they brought it, in the beginning only let it put. I don't know this phase angle, that has to be determined. Agree this? So either way, if you make this is 0 phase, then the current has to be taken some other phase. Why that phase angle will come later, you can see in the discussion part. So is it okay? When you can say two elements are in series in AC circuit, the two elements are said to be in series if the same current means magnitude should be same and the phase angle should also be same. Fine. So there's a construction of any circuit comes, you should be able to construct using thing. Why VL? But sir, why can't you show like this? What's wrong if I think like this? Here current will flow here, high 0 phase, because across the inductor open, current lags the voltage. No? So what's wrong if I show like this here? It's correct, no? Nothing wrong. We know across the inductor current should lag the voltage by 90 degree. But look at this, I'll connect emitter one here and here. Both emitters will read same current and phase angle will be same. So this shows that the magnitude and the phase angle of the current should be same. Don't say direction, phase angle here. In mechanics, we say direction, vector, magnitude, direction. Here we say magnitude and phase angle. These are called like a phasors. I'll phasors, vectors. What happen the physical quantities in mechanics we'll call them vectors, no? Here open in electric circuit, the voltages and currents are called as a phasors. They have some phase angle. SHM, phase angle, phase, initial phase, something we say, no? The similar thing here. No, so means like a, do we have meters which will indicate phase angle? Yes. The emitters what we construct now will also indicate phase angles. Now digital meters which are there. Analog cannot measure this phase angle. Digital meters will measure this phase angle also. Now look at this. Is it correct this circuit? It's a wrong. The reason for that R and L are in series. They should have same magnitude and phase angle. So therefore now this circuit is wrong. Now you have to be very careful about this particular thing. So this should be the correct one. So now let's write the diagram here. So I'll construct a diagram. So what is the diagram? The phasor diagram. Constructing phasor diagram is what numerical. Rest all you can see mathematics here. What is the phase of current? Phase of current is I. Next, what is the phase of? I'll call this as IRMS. I or IRMS. So let me call this is IRMS. What about the drop VR? VR will have a phase of, here only I just, there's a VR. What about VL? VL is having a phase of 90 degree. So this should be the phase of 90 degree. So the vector VR, VL will be agree this. So the voltages are here. Vector sum of voltages we have to take. I'll shift this VL here. Now what about VRMS? Where the VRMS should come in between VRMS, and this is what that phase angle. Okay, got this. So now let's construct the triangle. So this is what voltage triangle it is called as. I'll take it out this. The voltage triangle will draw it. This is VRMS. This is VR. Why VR should have zero phase? I'm assuming current to be zero phase, and across the resistor voltage and current will be in phase. And this is what that phi. So let's define the things. What is the phase angle of the circuit first? First of all, is it VRMS? Shall I write? Is it correct? What these voltages are? They are the vectors. So we should do what? Vector sum of voltages. In AC circuit, so when you are writing out the potential drop, no, you have to take the vector sum of the potential drops. So this should be VRMS square equal to VL square plus VRMS square. This is a voltage triangle. Vector sum of voltages. I'm making clear. So what you should do?
VR square.
Sorry, this is VR square. So what you should do here now, in your bedroom, in bathroom, or on your hand, in notebook, okay, on dining table, or in the places where you are, and on nearby television, or to the mobile. Nowadays we have some notes, no, sticky notes. In AC circuit, vector sum of voltages has to be taken. in series circuit. In parallel circuit, vector sum of current should be taken. Write that sticky notes. Daily see it 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 100 time, 1000 times, 1 crore times. Daily you recite this. Vector sum of voltages in series, vector sum of currents in parallel circuit. Finish all. Rest all everything mathematics. Is it okay? No? So why? Because the voltages are treat voltages as vectors. Because if I say phasor also, you'd start thinking some other way. So let me call vector. No book has called it. For your convenient, I'm calling it. Anybody sees any other teacher, he will laugh. How you can call voltage as a vector? That one. If I say phasor, no, again you start thinking something VRMS called VL plus VR. So let me write vector so that it will flash for you. It will get into your brain. That VRMS square equal to VL square plus VR square, not VRMS equal to VL plus VR. But we should call that as a phasor. I'll write in the bracket. The phasor word is a correct. It should be they should be called as a phasor, magnitude and phase angle. Okay, let's go for the Ohm's law one by one. So, what is Ohm's law for resistor? IRMS into R. What is Ohm's law across inductor? IRMS into XL. What is XL? XL should have the units that of resistance only, no? So let me substitute here. This is IRMS square, IRMS into XL. What should be the VRMS? VRMS should be again equal to IRMS into some quantity. I'll call that as impedance. So IRMS square will get eliminated. So Z square is equal to XL square plus R square. This is the inductive reactance. This is a resistance. This is called as the impedance. And what should be the unit of all this? Should be ohm only. Inductive reactance. This is a resistance. The unit for all this should be ohm. No, let's write this. Let me construct a triangle again. So here I'm going to construct an impedance triangle. This is called as impedance triangle. Let's indicate the value. So this should be XL, this should be R, this should be the impedance. So Z square equal to XL square plus R square it is. Now if I write this in vector form, how XL is along pi by 2, no? I think if you go back to complex number, you indicated with a symbol what? High, no? Zero phase high. So here what happened, we'll indicate this by J. The pi by 2 is what? We'll call that as J. Minus pi by 2 as minus J. A phase angle of pi by 2, I'll give one specific. See, every time writing phase angle of pi by 2, I just call that specific angle. Phase angle is what? Will indicate by J. If it's having a phase angle of 180 degree, J square. What is the value of J square? J square will be minus 1. Plus J means phase angle of net. Means an voltage is having a magnitude 10 volt, and I'll write J nearby it, or 10J. So what does it mean? Magnitude 10 and having a phase angle of 90 degree. If I write like this, minus 10J, having a magnitude 10 and having a phase angle of minus 90 degree. In vectors, what happened? There was no necessity of using this symbol. Here what happened? They're having some specific phase angle like 0, 90, minus 90, then 180 degrees. That specific phase angle will denote by a symbol. I think that is what happened for you in complex number. Here if I write it, this will be XL J plus R. So there I think there you use symbol I. So in a complex number, what do you mean by Z is equal to AI plus B? We say this is a imaginary, this is a real, no? So what do you mean by imaginary? Which will not exist? Or there's a quantity having magnitude A and the phase angle 90 degree. What about B? It's a quantity which is having only magnitude and zero phase. And what about this Z? Z is a complex number. We say why complex? Because it's having magnitude and this one, and it's having a magnitude Z and having a phase angle that is given by tan of B by A, tan inverse of B by A. What do you mean by imaginary? You said imaginary axis. There's a real axis. Imaginary means, sir, which will not exist. No. Why? What is XL? XL equal to omega L. No. Go back all. What is XL? Is it omega imaginary or L is imaginary? Both are real. No. Inductor. So is it imaginary or a real device? Real device. No. You take a copper wire, make it like a spring. They'll become solenoid. It will have self inductance. So nothing called like imaginary and real. Huh? Come out of the bookish world of mathematics. Huh? Complex numbers. Why you study complex numbers? Not to solve problem. Complex numbers are exclusively used in electrical circuits. Without that electrical circuit we cannot solve. I cannot apply KVL, KCL, anything. I can't do that one. There's a major application of complex numbers. I think the maths, the way you studied was dry. So no, what is the thing, like you should know how to apply complex number at several places. So when you pick up electrical engineering, definitely open the complex numbers alone will help you a lot. Okay, any in JE advance in maths also they may ask you a very good question related to this, because nothing is ruled out. Or in physics they may bring complex, what all complex numbers, what all you study can be applied here. So that imaginary axis, I think, please do imagine means which will not exist, nothing real, which is existing, imagine which will not existing. I think total stupidity here. But sir, why they call this as imaginary? Imagine if a quantity is having a phase angle 90 degree, it should be in this direction. The word imagine. So when you look at the complex number basic books, no, the statement has brought in that sense, and people started calling that y-axis as imaginary axis. A quantity which is having phase angle of 90 degree will be along imaginary axis. That's what the meaning of that. Okay, I'll come out of that. That I is called as the operator. No? So shall I call J as operator? So what is operator J indicates? Phase angle of 90 degree. Minus J minus 90. J square 180 degrees. So there's a one representation, and we do call this as now a phasor, magnitude and having a phase angle. Z bar, if I call it, no, it is considered as a now a phasor, that one. Okay, let's come for that. There's an impedance triangle, voltage triangle. Now let's come for this phi. So what is tan phi? VL by VR. And now you have to ask questions. Are this VL, VR, are they are RMS, instantaneous or maximum? Let there be RMS only. RMS value only. So VL equal to, this will be IRMS into XL. IRMS into R. Further, XL is omega L by R. So the phase angle of circuit depends on what? Omega L and R, means by varying frequency of source. Omega will determine the source. Omega depends on source. So I'll write it nearby. Omega by varying frequency of source, can I control flow of current? S. This is what the electrical engineer wants. Till now, what happened? You come across how to vary the. You go back to DC circuit. In DC circuit, what we did, how to vary the current. Tell me what are options for you. Either you should vary EMF of cell, or you should vary the resistance of the circuit. No, this was the thing. So now, without varying the EMF, without varying the R and L, can I vary the current? Yes, And varying frequency is very easy. How to vary frequency? Go for LC oscillation circuit. Can you vary capacitance? Yes. By varying capacitance, I can control omega. And by varying omega, I can control the current. By controlling current, I can control the power. So it is a new way of controlling power. What is that new way? By varying frequency of source, I can control the power dissipation in the circuit. There's a main theme of this AC circuits. In DC circuits, what happen? I should directly do physical changes, where in the physical changes of the resistance, or I should do some physical changes in the cell to vary the current. But here, what happen in AC source, just by varying frequency, one knob will be there. So, sir, is it that easy to vary frequency? FM radio, different channels, different stations, how you select by varying frequency. Is it easy or difficult? All of you, I think FM, you do listen, you do listen. How to select any station? Just by tuning, no, by rotating, no, it takes hardly a few seconds. So varying frequency of circuit is very easy. But varying resistance, inductance, capacitance, very difficult. Varying EMF, very difficult. How to vary EMF? Again, go back to Marshall EMF. How to control that EMF? Very difficult, no? So therefore, the engineers brought a method. They wanted certain method where they can control the flow of current by varying frequency. That's what this circuit is. This is the main theme of this AC circuits. Okay, got it, no? So I'm writing very clearly, the omega depends on source. This, if you vary R and L, current will change. It's no doubt that one. I'm not saying that if you vary R, current will not. R will change, but still more easier method is by varying frequency. Okay, no, I think some words you got J operator, impedance, all these things. So this called like a phase angle of circuit here. So therefore, what is this phi? I'll give one name. Phase angle of. All these formulas are very important. Then the whole chapter revolves around such formulas. Let's come for this. Now look at this circuit. Look at the applied voltage. What is applied voltage? VRMS. What is applied current? IRMS. So VRMS is called as applied voltage. What about IRMS? I'll call that as applied current. So now what I'm making? I'm making the current to lag voltage, no? Because say like, okay, this is a VRMS, that one. So compared to, or you can say voltage leads current. Since what happened, I'm going to take the voltage as reference. Then what happened, the current is lagging here. So therefore I'll give a name for this circuit. It is called as lag circuit. You should not change this. It's a convention. Everyone is following, you should also follow it. It's called like a lag circuit here. So current lags the applied voltage. So from where I think you can look at this one. If VRMS is having a phase angle of 30 degrees, what is the IRMS? Having a phase angle of 0 degrees. I'll write that angles 0, pi by 2, minus pi, this pi. So definitely what happened, the current lags the voltage. So therefore this is called like a lag circuit. How much it will lag depends on omega L and R. By varying omega, can I control this phase angle? Yes. This is the one advantage. Okay, this is about the lag circuit. How to obtain, can I control this phase angle? Yes, by adjusting L and R, or by varying omega, no? The phase angle is not fixed. It in fact is variable here. Okay, it's all about the circuit, you know. Let's go back to the power here. What about the power dissipated in the circuit? So what is the power? Already we know inductor will not dissipate any power, no? Who will dissipate power? Only the resistor. So I want expression for power dissipation. Let's, I think I can't. Yeah. We have here only. So where all power, there's a power dissipated across the resistor. So for that, I'll do one thing. I'll go for instantaneous power first. instantaneous power. Here I'm taking current as current lags the voltage, no? So here V into I. So what is V should be equal to Vm sine omega t plus phi. Im sine omega t. Is it justified writing sine omega t plus phi because current lags the voltage? So this should be equal to no Vm Im sine omega t, expansion of this sine omega t cos phi plus cos omega t sine phi. I'll write next step here. I think, okay, I'll take it out, I'll magnify it. Okay, try to look at this one. So we'll expand this sine omega t. Sine omega t cos phi into sine omega t. So further this instant power Vm Im sine square omega t into cos phi plus Vm Im by 2 sine omega t cos. This will be sine. I'm directly adjusting it things. I adjusted 1 2 here for the second term. Then 2 sine omega t cos will become sine 2 omega t. And we have this much here. Okay, let's go for average of this. Because whenever power, average power, one for one cycle, I'll calculate here. Now, what should the average value of sine square omega t? 1 by 2. So this will become Vm Im by 2 cos phi. What should be the average value of this? Average sine phi Vm Im 2 constant. But what is sine average value of sine 2 omega t? Will be 0. Whereas average value of sine square omega t will be 1 by 2. No, I'll write here. Average value of sine square omega t is 1 by 2, and so substituting all this and solving, so I ended up this much of equation. Got it, no? So now further Vm Im by 2. Let's see that what actually it is. What is Vm? Vm by root 2. Shall I adjust this? Which is equal to Vrms IRMS cos phi. So this is the average power. You have to remember the formula at any cost. The average power dissipated in AC circuit is given by Vrms IRMS cos phi. Whatever the circuit, calculate that cos phi. How to calculate cos phi? This cos phi, I'll give a very good name. I'll call that as power factor. Cos phi is called as power factor. So this is, I think, the whole AC circuit. No, you can see that so many problems. 80% of numericals are related to this power factor only. It's oscillating only. What do you mean by oscillating here? So again, go back to AC circuits. What is the AC circuit basic idea? A varying current is flowing. The effective voltage is what Vrms, no? That's the major purpose of this one. Stick on to the basic things. I'll have water. You know, though varying current, varying voltage are there, but still what we'll express everything in terms of VRMS. That's what I think in the beginning we concluded here. Okay, I got this one. So let's go back to again that triangle. And now some regarding power I'm introducing. So there are, so let's plot that circuit. So this is the, oh, we know how IRMS is. IRMS is like this. No? Let's bother about only applied voltage and applied current. And what about VRMS? VRMS is, there is a phase angle of circuit. So can, and as I said, the applied voltage and current, they are vectors, no? So let me resolve component of IRMS along VRMS. Then what is the average power? VRMS into IRMS cos phi. So if I resolve, IRMS is having two components. One component along VRMS. How much it is? IRMS cos phi. There is another component. IRMS sin phi. Which component of current will actually uh, responsible for the power dissipation? IRMS cos phi. What about IRMS sin phi? Will not dissipate power. So this is called like a wattless current. This particular current, I'll call it as wattless current. Now you should not laugh. So actually, which current is flowing? I, IM, IRMS, IRMS cos phi, IRMS sin phi. That's all, no? A student must ask really these three things, sir. What is this instantaneous current? That will vary sinusoidally. Maximum, RMS, RMS cos phi, RMS sin. Sir, among all, which currents are flowing? Actually, this is the current which is flowing. This we are expressing it in various ways. Okay, now this is the only current which is flowing in circuit. And what about IM? When it will be equal to IM twice in one cycle. IRMS is what the ammeter will measure. This is what responsible for power. This is what thing which is not responsible for power. We are just breaking up things. This is what actually flows. Actual flowing here. Getting the idea, no? No. Component of IRMS will not generate power. Only IRMS cos phi is what responsible for the power here. This is called like a wattless current. How to calculate wattless current? We know phase angle. We know phase angle. How to calculate phase angle? Tan phi. Then this, how to get the power factor of circuit? Power factor of circuit, again, draw the impedance in the air. What is cos phi? R by Z. I'll draw once again that impedance triangle. Small things you ask yourself questions. It'll be on safer side. So this is the XL. This is Z. This phase angle, and this is R. That is what the ammeter, again, say ammeter is made up of resistor. No, the resistor will always measure the one which is responsible. IRMS cos phi it is. So the what current flows, it will be generated, and proportional to it will measure. So you can't say emitter to what it will measure. If a current flows, it will measure it. It will generate it. And proportional to it, the deflection will be there. And now what is cos phi here from the diagram? R by mod of Z, which is equal to root of R square plus XL square. Or further it is plus omega L whole square. Now, can I control power dissipation in the circuit? By varying omega, I'll shade only omega. R and L are fixed here because I don't want to disturb them. Varying R and L is a very difficult thing. Varying omega is very easy. I'll just put a knob. So by varying omega, I can control cos phi. By varying cos phi, I can control average power. So like that, the power dissipation can be varied or can be controlled by varying the frequency of source. This is a major theme of this circuit here. So this power factor is something very important. You see that one. Why power factor? Now let's go back. What is the power factor for resistor circuit?
Negative.
What is the angle between voltage and current? Will be 0. Cos phi will be 1. For pure resistive circuit, what is the power factor? 1. Then for pure reactive circuit, R will be 0, no? R will be 0. Then what's be the phase angle? The phase angle should be equal to how much? 90 degree. So what is the power? 0. So can I explain now the same inductor, capacitor, power dissipation is 0. The reason for that, XL is non-zero. In pure inductive circuit, XL non-zero. What about R? R will be 0. 0 by anything will be 0. So phi should be 90 degrees. Cos phi will be 0. Power will be 0. That one. So for power circuit, power factor, R is 1 and for L and C it is 0. The value of cos phi will be 1 for resistive circuit, pure resistive circuit. For inductance and capacitance circuit, it will be 0. Emitter will read IRMS. In that open IRMS, cos phi is responsible for power dissipation. I'm making things clear. We can't separate IRMS cos phi, IRMS sin phi. Because what is the emitter? Emitter is having only resistance, no? So, okay, so what current is flowing across the resistor R? IRMS only. Now let's come back to this one. So after getting this, let me break up things. I'm having all the triangles here. What is the power dissipated across resistor R? Should be equal to IRMS square into R only. Power dissipated, what is IRMS into R? In books, there is no much discussion on the power thing. Let me put in one simplified way here. What is IRMS into R? Should be drop across the resistor, no? Got this? This about VR. And what is VR? Let me draw the voltage triangle somewhere here. We have everything in front of. So what is VR? We can add VRMS cos phi. Is it justified? What all that average power? Who will dissipate here? Resistor and inductor is there. Only the resistor is what which will dissipate, which is equal to nothing but P average. So now, what is the average power? What is the average power dissipated in RL circuit? It is nothing but the power dissipated across resistor only. I just wanted to say that means if they ask you find the average power dissipated in RL circuit, calculate the current flowing through the resistor Irms square into R. There is nothing but average power. Try to correlate things. Now, let's come for inductor. Across inductor, Irms square into XL. No? This I'll break it up. What is Irms into XL from Ohm's law? Irms into VL. What is VL? We can write it as Vrms sine phi. This is not equal to average power. This is called like a reactive power. Call just Px. This is the reactive power. Then what we have? We have one more, no? Total power dissipated in the circuit. Real power, and I'll call this as apparent power. Okay, let's go for. I can also write one more, no? Just only Vrms into Irms. That's all. This also lead to power, and this is called like a apparent power. Apparent power. So we'll give symbol P apparent. PS, right? Power supplied by the apparent power. This one apparent. The battery feel that is supplying this much of power, but how much is consumed? Only VRMS and remaining what across the inductor, and the inductor will return back. No. Then how all these powers are related? All this power. So the power triangle. Now we can draw it. Px, this is PR, and this is apparent power. So then we can write one relationship. So now what is tan phi? Tan phi, you can also write it as Px by PR, reactive power by the real power. This is called like average power, or you can call it as, I think the word itself says real, reactive, then apparent power. The battery fields is supplying power of how much PS, but how much actually consumed? PR. Whatever the remaining is available across the inductor, and it will return back here. The battery, the cell will not see anything that O is there. It will supply this much of power. This is what really consumed, and the remaining output will be returned back. So therefore, this is called like a apparent power. It is. So like this, we have some in books they have avoided this possibility of asking in advance. Not in means, at least in advance, definitely they'll ask you. So if they give reactive power and resistive power, from that we'll get phase angle. From phase angle, you can calculate the power factor, all other things related here. Okay, this is about all the conclusion. So what is a RL circuit? RL circuit is a lag circuit, which will make current to lag the applied voltage. And in this, who will consume power? It's actually only the resistor which will consume power. So it is not a dissipative power. Reactive power is not dissipative power. It's only exchange of power occurs between the source and the inductor. And what all the, when the cell gives any power to the resistor will dissipate it. It will not return back. There's a main theme. Okay, let's similarly we'll go for RC circuit now. Okay, the next part is RC circuit. So here what happen will energize the RC circuit, RC source by a resistor and a capacitor. Now again draw the phasor diagram. Let's go for the phasor diagram here. This is a resistor, this is a capacitor. Let's assume across capacitor, current should lead the voltage, no, here. So let's assume that current is having a zero phase. The same current, I'm writing zero, angle zero, that one, phase angle. Across resistor, both are in phase. The applied voltage is Vm sine omega t minus phi. Across capacitor, the current leads the voltage by 90 degrees. So therefore here, shall we put Vc downward? Current leads voltage by 90 degrees. Since current is having zero phase, so therefore voltage, I'll make it minus 90 degree. And this applied VRMS, where the red color. So let's write all the phasor diagram. So every problem I'm showing, no, it's like a numerical only. Every numerical, you'll be doing this much only here. Let's take this one. So what is the phase angle of current? Current will be, or will show VR. Then this is VC. And applied voltage will be VRMS. This is a phase angle, and current also will be here. Let me complete this triangle. This will be VR, this will be VC, this will be VRMS. Then voltage triangle, VRMS square, as they are vectors, no, or phasors here. So VR square plus VC square. Let's apply Ohm's law across each and every element. Ohm's law across resistor. IRMS into R. Ohm's law across capacitor. Can you recollect yesterday we have done? IRMS into XC. What is XC? Capacitor reactance. And this should be equal to IRMS into Z. So Z square is equal to R square plus XC square. If I write in vector form, R plus minus JXC. If I draw the impedance triangle, it will be, this will be R, this is XC, and this is Z. Why minus J cap? Because you see XC is along, I think there's a convention, no? 0, J, minus J, J square. Any quantity along positive y-axis, it will have phase angle of 90 degree, and that 90 degree phase angle we show by J. A quantity is having minus 90 degree phase angle, just simply write minus J. So got no, in complex numbers you had plus I, minus I. So what do you mean by plus I? That particular physical quantity, a real quantity only, which is having a phase of 90 degree. What do you mean by A minus IB? I think high operator is having a phase angle of minus 90 degree. That B is a real quantity, not imaginary. At least now after getting this much of idea, please think in different way now. The complex numbers, what all actually you studied, the physical interpretation should be according to the requirement. The way it was, the complex numbers, why they are brought is for this purpose. This is about the voltage triangle. This is about impedance triangle. And then I want the phase angle of circuit. Tan phi should be equal to XC by R. What is XC? 1 by omega C. This is R. So by varying frequency, I can control the phase angle. Let's come for the power factor. What is power factor? R by mod of Z, which is equal to R square plus XC square. I think all these formulas you have to remember. This is the power factor. No, what about the instantaneous power? Let's see that what happens to instantaneous power. The instantaneous power, we define V into I, which is equal to Vm sine omega t minus phi Im sine omega t. Look at now, current leads the applied voltage. So therefore, I'll give a name for this circuit. I'll call this as, I'll call it as lead circuit. RC circuit is called as a lead circuit here. So again, solving this, P instantaneous is equal to Vm Im sine omega t cos phi minus cos omega t sine phi sine omega t. Vm Im cos phi sine square omega t. Vm Im by 2 sine phi sine 2 omega t. So when you calculate the average power, so O will take that average power. Due to sine 2 omega t will be 0. Only due to sine square omega t will come. So what is the average value of sine square omega t will be 1 by 2. So what is the average value? Average power I think everything is in one place. P instantaneous dt by, this should be cut after solving, Vm Im by 2 cos phi. So this if I rewrite, Vrms Irms cos phi by 2. Oh, so 2 will not be there. Again, here also we'll get two powers, reactive power, even the same power triangles. We can similarly draw here. There's a resistive power, there's a reactive power, and this is the apparent power or power supplied by the source. So three triangles will get voltage triangle, impedance triangle, and power triangle. And again, the relationship will be PS square equal to PR square plus PX square. Vector sum of powers, vector sum of impedances, vector sum of the voltages. So what is the power factor again? Power factor depends on these quantities. By varying capacitance, can you control power S? By varying resistance, can you control power S? Power dissipation circuit. By varying frequency also, we can control the power dissipation. Now, again, what is P average? This P average is nothing but should be equal to RMS square R, no? Somewhere in the corner, I'll write it. Again, what is the wattless current? RMS sin phi here also. A component of current responsible for power. Other component is not responsible for power dissipation. So why one which is not, it's some applications that RMS sin phi is useful. Of course, we don't study that, but in designing of equipments, that is also very important. So this is called like a lead circuit and there's a lag circuit. So these are basics here. So just I think all the set of formulas, I think the total everything I'm bringing it at one place. So of all very important, because when you go for numerical, no, so finally you see that these equations are going to help you a lot. Then this writing KVL, then this power dissipation, average power, and who will dissipate power here? Only resistor will dissipate power. It's right. You write very clearly. Only resistor dissipates power in AC circuit. Finish over. What is the role of capacitor, inductor, then, sir? Then why we are using it? To bring the desired phase angle between applied voltage and applied current. And now you can ask questions, sir. Okay, fine. Then what is the role of capacitor, inductor? Why they have brought it? Okay, let's go for electrical equipment. What are electrical equipments we have? Costlier thing, air conditioner. Cost, I think nowadays it's going even up to 60,000. No? Then fan, air cooler, water pump, all electrical. Even you can see the television, then mixer, grinder, and you go to industries. I think some crores of rupees equipment will be there. No? It should be protected. Protected from what? From high voltages. So how do I can protect electrical equipment? If this is the electrical equipment is so it should be protected from high voltages. So therefore, let me introduce one resistance. Electrical equipment will have resistance. I'll call that is RE. Then I'll see that R 10 times of RE. Is it okay? No. So this is so therefore now if by chance if this voltage increases, tell me where the rising drop will be more. The rising drop will be more across the resistor than electrical equipment. And when you make RE code 10 RE, if this consumes 100 watt, what about how much this will consume? This will consume 1000 watt. Means if you get 100 rupees bill, in that what will happen? The 90 rupees is due to this and 10 rupees is due to electrical equipment. This is something very bad, no? And what is the purpose of this? To protect electrical equipment from exceeding voltages. So what is doing? It is giving protection, but at the cost of consuming 90% of electricity. If you get 1000 rupees bill, 100 rupees is what actually you have utilized. Remaining 900 rupees is got wasted here as a heat. So wastage of power is more here, no? Go back to voltage divider formula here also. What all applied voltage, there open, it will be more here than this particular thing. So therefore, if any voltage increases, first it will increase more here than this one. So first will burn out, this will get damaged. Okay, fine. I'm protecting electrical, but look at the bill. The electricity bill, what I get is something 90% of power I'm wasting here. Only 10% is what utilized by electrical equipment. For every 1000 rupees, 900 taken by this, only 100 rupees is utilized here. So this is a very bad design. Let me come for inductor. It's the same electrical equipment. Let me take help of inductor now. If I bring inductor, what is the thing? The inductor also will come with internal resistance. We can never get a coil. We can never get a coil which will not have resistance. So the inductor will also have some resistance. Then in turn, the inductor what happen will also consume some power. So there's also unwanted power. Here also unwanted power. Instead this, let me go for capacitor. If I take the capacitor, AC circuit fuse wire, even though when you use fuse wire, still problem will arise. So that I'll show it now. Now let there be capacitor. Then I'll make XC very much greater than RE or 10 times of RE. Fuse cannot withstand a very high currents, very high voltages. There's some limit is there. That's why the capacitor is brought here. So now here also I'll see that XL 10 times of RE, but because of smaller power dissipation. What about capacitor? Purely it will not dissipate any power, no? And it will not dissipate any power, and it is also giving protection. If at all high voltage comes first, capacitor will burn out. Once capacitor burn out, so okay, no, the electrical equipment is safe. Will it dissipate any power consumed? Capacitor will not dissipate power. Unwanted power because of small r, and there'll be flux linking, flux leakage will be there, but we don't have any such thing from capacitor here. That's why you take the air conditioner, inside what condenser will be there, fan, condenser, it's called as a condenser. Why it is brought? Only to protect electrical equipment from high voltages. If high voltage comes inside the fan, like this, you can see a plastic one, a tube, a small box will be there. If you want, you open it dome, no? Switch off all power, then open this dome. There you can see this. It will be size like almost the thumb size. It will be there. In air conditioner, the cost will be around 200 rupees. In the fan, the cost will be around 40 rupees. Tube light also, earlier tube lights it used to have. Like that, you take any electrical equipment, capacitor is brought here. What is the purpose of that? To protect electrical equipment. If high voltages comes, first capacitor will burn out, and it will not dissipate power. So what is the role of capacitor? It will do its duty without expenditure of energy. Resistor inductor fails in that aspect. So like this, the capacitor is introduced here. Got that? So they may test you general passages related to this. So what capacitor? Capacitor protects equipment and will not dissipate power. Inductor open will protect equipment, will dissipate power. Resistor R protects and also dissipates power. So which one I should pick up? So definitely the capacitor. This is not suggestible. Worst case, okay, you can go for it. And this is really very pathetic with the resistor, trying to protect electrical equipment. Fine. So this is about the why the capacitors are brought here. Capacitor is brought to protect the electrical equipment. This is the main reason. Okay, no. So this is about the all about the, you can say, the theoretical ideas what we had. So let's take the numericals now. Some. I'll start with this numerical. I'll read the question. There are circuits are there. RLC. I'll bringing everything here now. Okay, I think some of you find very difficult. We'll do one thing. RLC I'll discuss. If it is having all three elements, then what has to be done? Now I'll finish off this so that you can do almost many numericals today. There's an inductor, there's a capacitor. How to write first the phasor diagram. Let me assume current of zero phase. Zero means it is understood. The current will be like this. Come for this. Across resistor, the current will be in phase. What about the inductor? And the capacitor? The applied voltage is VRMS. So let's write the phasor diagram now. I think every numerical, this is what you should do. How they are, why they are series? Because the elements are in series. If I connect ammeter, the same current flows across all three elements. So the magnitude will be same and also direction. So therefore, current is having zero phase. Current lags the voltage across the inductor. Current leads the voltage. So therefore we have to show it here in this particular way. This is VL symbols C. So let's construct the triangle. This will be VR. This will be VL. This is VC. And depending upon VL greater than VC or VC greater than, based on that, VRMS will have a position. I'll just assume somewhere like this. So the total circuit will be now VRMS. Shall we take this is VL minus VC? If VL greater than VC, VRMS will be having a phase of that one. And if VC can be greater than VL, then VRMS you have to show here. It all depends upon the value of XL and XC. That will depend upon that one. So this should be the resultant VRMS. Now, is it a lead or lag circuit? Where the current? Current is flowing here, no? There's a current. Current leads the voltage, no? Current lags the voltage. So shall I call it, now it has become lag circuit. Though inductor, capacitor there, still you have to call it as a lag circuit. The reason for that, XL greater than XC. Because VL greater than VC means, so what does it mean? Same current flows. Now this VRMS square equal to VL minus VC whole square. Now try to see this VL minus VC whole square, not VL square minus VC square. VL minus VC is the resultant. Ohm's law, IRMS into XL this should be Z square is equal to XL minus XC whole square plus R square. So the total impedance of circuit will be XL minus XC whole square plus R square. There's a way of, if three elements are there, you have to use this particular method. Then again, what is the power factor of circuit? Again, if I draw the impedance triangle, there's the impedance. If XC greater than XL, then the triangle will come in the fourth quadrant. So then what is the phase angle of circuit? Tan phi is equal to XL minus XC by R. In this case, it will be omega. XL is omega L. This is 1 by omega C by R. Go back to the basic formulas. What is the power factor of circuit? Power factor of circuit should be R by mod of Z is equal to, this should be, again, everything we have to write it. R square plus XL minus XC whole square. Who will dissipate power if you are very average power dissipated? VRMS, IRMS, cos phi, or it is also equal to IRMS square into R. That's all, no? Because who will dissipate power? Only the resistor will dissipate power. So this vector sum of voltages is something very important. Impedance triangle, voltage triangle, even the power triangle also. So what I suggest, every numerical, you must search for, you must fight for this relationship. I think you know it's very clear. All the elements are in series, so therefore current will have zero phase. Draw the vector diagram, then construct the vector diagram. Voltage triangle, impedance triangle, write all the suitable equations, and Ohm's law across each element across inductor, across capacitor, across resistor. So now what is the impedance? I think now impedance, inductive reactance, capacitive reactance, and the resistance. This is called like a impedance of the circuit here. It's a vector quantity, it's a phasor. Of course, even the resistor also phasor, it will have zero phase. Let's take this circuit now. All three elements are there. First, for circuit A, we'll take it. We'll go for circuit A. Now, what is V1? V1 should be equal to VR square plus VL square, vector sum of voltages. Justified. Do we know V1S and VRMS also given? What about V2? What shall I write V2? V2 is just VL minus VC. No, sir, why you are not writing vector? Because our VL and VC will be opposite direction. No? The difference of that is what V2. But sir, why don't you write VN V1 like this? Go back. Just we have discussed here. No, tell me like how VL and VC will be opposite. No, so can I write resultant VL minus VC? You can't write VRMS equal to VL plus VR. Vector sum of voltages. The whole AC circuit is all about if you can digest this, problem is over. Now, what all information we have here? V2, we have V1, and we know V2, and we know VRMS. Tell me what I should write VRMS as. Let's write one more equation. VRMS square is equal to VL minus VC whole square plus VR whole square. I'll write it. Is it okay? So do we know VL minus VC whole square? That should be equal to V2. Symbols, some of you are getting confusion. I'll write it. So in place of this, I'll write it V2 square. This is VR square. VRMS square 250 whole square is equal to V2. V2 is how much? Given 200 whole square. VR square. I'll get the VR. Once I know VR, I'll substitute here. I know V1. I'll get VL. After getting VL, then I'll get VC. Like that, VL, VC, all things are determined. So this will be 62500 minus 150 volt VR. If you know VR 150 volt, substitute in the first equation. V1 square we know. I'll do it here. No, V1 square. V1 is 158.11 whole square. VR is 150 whole square. VL square. We'll get VL. That value of VL substitute, I'll get VC. So vector sum of voltages, the core idea. 24998 minus 22500. 9 negative minus of approximately around 20 volt will get it. VL is equal to
50 will get now.
how much?
50.
50, huh? Yeah. Is it okay, the method? Power factor of circuit is asking. Tell me what shall I do? Power factor. So directly go for voltage triangle. Which is greater? Now calculate VC. Anybody VC will be? Negative it will come. Give me value of VC.
Minus 150.
How much?
Minus 150.
Minus 150. Then the power factor of circuit, VR, VC minus VL. And power factor of circuit, we write it VR by VRMS, no? So what is value of VR? 150. VRMS is 250. 3 by 5. Lead or lag? What shall I call this? Lead power factor. Can we pick up options like this? There's a for option A. No, similarly for option B. But sir, there you can see something you brought one capacitor parallel also. So no problem, we can still analyze it. Let me make it small. Next after this, we'll go for the circuit B, we'll take it. Circuit B, V1 square V1 square equal to VR square plus VL square. So what is V1 we know? 150 as given. V1 we know 150. And VRMS we know it. So what about VRMS? VRMS, sorry, V1 is only VR. I'll come in order. V1 is VR because the voltmeter V1 is connected parallel to resistor. So V1 equal to VR. Look at VRMS 250 volt. Across RL it will come. So VRMS square equal to VR square plus VL square. We know VRMS 250 whole square. VR is what? 150 whole square. From that I'll get VL. So I got the VL. After getting VL, then I know VR. What about VC? If you directly, I think VC should be called 250 volt only. It's connected parallel to this. Then what about the power factor? Power factor, I'll show it later on a parallel circuit. It will take more time. So time being, I'm concluding this one. And let's come for circuit C. Power factor, I'll show it later on. Tomorrow we'll discuss that. Parallel circuits one. Now, so look at this circuit, V1 should be equal to VR square plus VL square. And V3 should be equal to VR. Voltmeter connected parallel to this. And what about V2? V2 square should be equal to VR square plus VC square. So from here V3 is equal to VR, we'll get it. And we know V1 and V3 will get VL. And we know VR and V2. So we'll get VC. What about the power factor of circuit? Again, the power factor of circuit, you have to check it for cos phi is equal to VR by VRMS. Is it okay? Circuit C. A parallel circuit, let me discuss tomorrow. So because I think it will be in a big confusion will come now. The circuit D, VR should be code 250, VC should be code 250. VR and VC should be code 250. So the vector sum of voltages is the core idea. That everything, the total discussion just revolves around that much only. Let's take the next one problem. This is a circuit takes a current of 3 ampere at a power factor of 0.6 lagging. So what it should be? Lag circuit, it should be RL, no? Power factor, I think if power, so how do you can say that there will be resistor inductor? Lag is telling 0.6. Then why not only resistor? Why not only inductor? If only resistor, power factor will be 1. If only inductor, power factor will be 0. Power factor is 0.6. Lagging means it should have inductor as well as the resistor. So first there's a circuit 115 volt is a VRMS 50 Hz. There's a resistor, there's a inductor. R1 and L, you write it. Then other circuit 115 volt 50 Hz takes a current, and how much of current here? Current here is 3 ampere. It's RMS. Whenever I say current means it is RMS only. Now other circuit is telling 0.707 leading. So it must be RC circuit. Why not only resistor? Only resistor, you would have said 1, power factor will be 1. If only capacitor, you would have said 0. But 0.7 is there.
Sir, it can be RLC now, sir.
Is asking to assume minimum things. If it says more than one reactive element, you should take. Otherwise, you should take only one element.
Okay, sir.
Okay, and what is the current here? 0 point or 1 by root 2 ampere. Now, what all we know? We know VRMS. We know IRMS. But we don't know R1 and L, R2 and C. Power factor is what we know. So what is the formula for power factor?
Sir, current is 5 amperes.
5 ampere. Power factor is this one. 5 ampere, 5A. Okay, now go back to formula. You see like this, there are some around more than 100 numericals are there. No concept. Already you know every formula now. In RL circuit, you draw the impedance triangle. So get one by one. There's a phase angle of this circuit, let it be phi 1. The phase angle of this circuit, let it be phi 2. This should be XL, this should be R1, this should be Z1. And then for this, the triangle will be R2, this is XC, this is the impedance Z2, this is the phase angle. I think you know how to draw this impedance triangle. No. Let's come for one by one. Do we know cos phi value? We don't have. We have only VRMS and IRMS. What is this 3 ampere is IRMS. So what we know is the power factor cos phi 1 is equal to 0.6. I'll write it. What all given? Cos phi 2 is equal to 1 by root 2. 1 by root 2 is 0.707. No? Looking at this what you can write cos phi 1 R1 by Z impedance. And we know what is a how you write VRMS. VRMS should be equal to I1 into Z1 across the total circuit. No, we know VRMS how much 115 I1 3. I'll get Z1. So Z1 equal to 115 by 3. 35 ohms. So I know value of Z1. I know value of Z1. That I'll substitute here. I'll get R1. So what is R1? 35 into 0.6. I'll get R1. Anybody value? 21 ohm?
Sir, that is not 35, sir.
Not 35. Huh?
38.3.
38.3. Okay, now this will be, you'll get the value of R1. Okay, I got, like this, I got the R1 and Z1 values. Similarly, you proceed here. What is VRMS? I2 into Z2. First, I'll write cos phi 2 value. Cos phi 2 should be R2 by Z2. No. So this will be VRMS equal to I2 by Z2. VRMS is how much? 115. This is 5. I'll get the Z2.
Twenty-three ohm.
Z2, huh?
Yes, sir.
No, what about R1? R1, anybody?
92.98.
2.98.
92 point?
22.98, sir.
22.98. Shall we make it 23? Okay, I know R1. Can I bring L1, L value of L? So we know what is Z1 is equal to. Z1 is equal to Z1 square equal to R square plus XL square. No? We know Z1 value, we know R1, we'll get XL. And if you know XL, L omega. What is omega? 2 pi f. With this, we'll get the value of L and R1. Fine. Similarly, on this side we know R2 value. Anybody value R2? Value of R2, anybody? 23 into 16.3.
16.06.
16.26. That's
Okay, now after getting R2 again, so what is Z2? You can write it as Z2 square equal to R2 square plus XC square. We know omega from here. Then from XC, I'll get the value of XC. From XC is equal to 1 by omega C. I'll get the value of C. So like this, from this information, we get all the quantities. After getting this, what is telling? If the two circuits are connected in series across a 230 volt 50 hours supply, they're connected in series. Then is asking all other quantities. So what we should do now? So we should go for another circuit. I think we got R1 from, I think only XL is needed, no need of L1. No need of L and omega, only XL is enough. XL and XCs are enough. Only XC and this one, if you want to find out capacitance, you can find out. After this, R2 32.53. Check once. 16.62. What we're getting.
Sixteen point two six only, sir.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. Now I'll connect them in series across another source, R1, inductor, R2, capacitor. This is having how much of 230 volt. That is VRMS only. Now is asking all the things. Find the current, power consumed, power factor. Directly what we should do here, go for the triangle. So what should be the triangle now? XL minus XL. No need to calculate L and C value. And this should be R1 plus R2. And this should be the total impedance. Or in terms of, I think this much is what we have. We know XL, XC and R1, R2 will get from this, the impedance also. So how you should write impedance? R1 plus R2 whole square. Which one is greater, XL, XC? From the calculations it will come. I'll get the impedance. After getting impedance, or if you want the phase angle, after getting this impedance, then you can calculate the current. So what is the current? IRMS. IRMS equal to 230 volt by Z. Then power consumed. So who will consume power? IRMS square into R1 plus R2 only, no? Or else what you should do? This can also be written as VRMS, IRMS. This is VRMS into cos phi. And what is cos phi? You should calculate from here. It's left to you. I think to save time, this is the best now. Already you are having IRMS and you know R1, R2. You'll get the average power. Power factor of circuit. Power factor means what is asking? Cos phi only. You know, so these are the things which the types of numericals will be available for you. It's there in icon. I just picked up from there. So I think, sir, there's no any concept here, no? The formulas, voltage triangle, power triangle, impedance triangle, then cos phi, tan phi, then impedance equal to R square plus XL square, lag circuit, lead circuit, impedance is equal to under root of R square plus XC square. And what is XC? 1 by omega C. And whenever they say voltage, sir, they didn't say it's RMS, VRMS. Whenever they mention voltages, it should be VRMS. Whenever they mention current, it should be RMS only. If it is not VRMS or IRMS, I'll mention it. Otherwise, it should be taken for granted. A current flows in a circuit, in AC circuit, it should be RMS only. I'm making things clear. Afterwards, I don't know, students, in spite of this in exams, so they didn't say it's RMS. Then okay, finish. It's your problem. It's a convention, no? In AC circuit, whatever the current you measure, it's RMS because you can measure only IRMS. I'm making things clear. I'm telling this one. Please do accept some things from your teacher. In AC circuit, you cannot measure any other current except RMS. So when I say 10 ampere, it's RMS only. Since you don't do lab, no, these are the problems what we come across. Because in lab, no, what you measure, you do these experiments on each circuit for any number of years. You are measuring only RMS. I'm making exclusively this one because I seen students, they have left the questions because of this information. They're very good. It's not like say they didn't study it or that one. So the conventions is what? Conventions. You have to accept it. There's no other way. There's about what to do if there is a parallel circuit. Let me take this one. So let me explain here. Now, if we have a parallel circuit, what to do? What should be the approach? So don't go for a parallel circuit. So directly get into the problem like this. So let the current here be I1. Let the current here be I2. Shall we calculate first I1, I2? Find the current through the cell is asking. So first we'll calculate current I1. To calculate current I1, I'll replace this with equivalent circuit. There's an impedance Z1. I think the circuit has become really very simple with the approach. What is Z1? Root of R1 square plus XL square. 6 square plus 8 square. This should be 10 ohm. What about Z2? Z2 square, R2 square plus XC square. 4 square plus 3 square. This will be 5 ohm. Then what is the current? I1 magnitude I'm calculating. This IRMS. What I'm writing I1 is IRMS. I1 equal to VRMS by Z1. What is VRMS? 20 by 10. 2 ampere. What about I2? VRMS by Z2. 20 by 5. 4 ampere. So shall I write I1 plus I2? Shall we write I1 plus I2? Tell me like what is this Z1? Is it a lead or lag? There's a lag, no? And what about this lead? So here, what about I1, I2? Will they have any phase? Let me take VRMS as reference. So directly go for phasor diagram. Don't waste much any time. Treat them like a vectors, I1, I2 vectors. Let me take the phase angle of VRMS as 0 phase. Parallel circuit, they're the best up because of course, sir, I know complex number, I'll apply it. Yes, you can do that. Since our syllabus, they didn't decide to use complex numbers, I'm trying to avoid. You can, since you know complex numbers, you can solve with that also. Directly you get I. I'm using simplified approach here. The vector diagram. There's a vector diagram. Now the VRMS is what? The reference I'm taking. 0 phase. This is pi by 2. This is minus pi. Now let's come for this. What is the R1 XL, the Z1? It's a lag, no? What do you mean by lag? What actually lags? Current lags the applied voltage, no? So therefore the I1 should be shown here. What about I2? What about Z2? Is a lead circuit. The current leads the applied voltage. This is the applied voltage. So therefore we have to show that one here. This angle we don't know. This has to be determined. How to calculate the phase angle? Separately, you go back for inductor circuit, RL circuit. So how do we show phase angle? It is like this, no? Little bit orientation will be different. It is justified because I took VRMS as reference. Then similarly, is it okay? No, sir, but till now the problems, the voltage, the impedance triangle for RL should be on the first quadrant, but here you brought it in the fourth quadrant. Shall I bring it also in the second, third quadrant? Now try to look at here. What is the reference? The this is the reference. I took the source as reference, the phase of this as 0. Compared to applied voltage, the current in RL circuit lags. Agreed? Compared to applied voltage, this is 0 phase. I took this as reference. So here, but it didn't say to make problem simple, I assumed it. I assumed it this to be 0 phase. No, sir, I'll assume this to be 90 degree. Yes, compared to 90 degree, it will lag. So then you have to show VRMS here, then it will come here. I think the overall vector diagram will be like this only. The method will be this much only. So sir, I'll assume this to be phase of 90 degree. Then you have to show VRMS here. Then where I1 will come, I1 will come here. Then I2 will come here. One of the same. No? This is much easier approach. Take this to be 0 phase. In parallel circuits, always to assume the phase of a source, let it be 0. If you mention this phase separately, then corresponding to that, you draw the diagram. Since nothing mentioned, so if they don't mention anything, then the phase of the cell should be 0 for parallel circuits, I'm telling. Okay, there's a thing. So now can we calculate the phase angle? This phi 2, phi 1 is needed. So what is phi 2? Cos phi 1 equal to R1 by Z1. Cos phi 2 equal to R2 by Z2. I know all the values. Z1, Z2 values, everything. I got cos 1. Now what is the resultant current? The total current through the cell should be I1 square plus I2 square, 2I1, I2, angle between them. Vector addition.
Root of, sir.
And this is I square, or we'll make it here. So whenever you get a parallel circuit, what you should do to get a current in this cell, current in branches will be different. Vector sum of currents is what? The total current here. So you should not write I equal to I1 plus I2, parallel branches. In series branches, vector sum of voltages. Here you can see the drop across V1, R1 and XL. You cannot write V1 plus VL, V1 square plus VL square. When parallel branches come, vector sum of currents. It's a very difficult for you to digest what like current, like a vector addition. But this chapter is of that one. Parallel when you come, so take help of the vector sum of currents. If they are series, vector sum of voltages. Can we calculate how much of phase angle of circuit? If somebody asks what you should do, you should calculate the angle made by the current, you know. So you can do the resultant current along X or use the vector. Somewhere I'm making a guess. I don't know it will be. The resultant current may be here. This is the phase angle of circuit here. So what is I? This I is this one. How much of angle it will make with applied voltage VRMS, that you should calculate by vector diagram, or else you can go for unit vectors like along x-axis how much it is, I1 cos phi. So I can give this tan phi by another method. I1 cos phi 1, I1 you see this tan phi. I can also bring this. This is a phase angle of circuit. If you know phase angle tan phi, you can bring cos phi. Power factor of circuit also you can bring it. I just took the along x-axis, I'll add the components. Along y-axis, I should take the difference. So there should be the tan phi. Or else use the vector algebra formula. Addition of two vectors, the angle made with the resultant with any one. There'll be a little bit more lengthier. This will be easier because you know I2 all this one. You'll get the tan phi. So now what is the conclusion? Parallel circuit, vector sum of currents. Series circuit, vector sum of voltages.